Hi, welcome to the coaching game. Look who's over here. It must be coaches creating change.
Oh, yes,
I
it
see
is.
lovely Terry Yoffe.
Oh, yes, Terry Yoffe here. We are in middle of August.
Unbelievable.
I have no idea where this year has gone. I say that every year,
But it
and
seems
I
to accelerate. It goes faster every year. It's
it
crazy.
seems to, and we're heading into the last few months of the year. What,
We're going into the quarter almost. It's like,
right?
what's going on?
October.
Yeah.
I know, I know.
And that's kind of what we decided we might want to talk about today, just time passing, aging, benefits of aging, and just like what time's not waiting for us. So what do you do with that information? And Terry came up with a marvelous idea. Tell us what you were thinking about, Terry.
So as a 20-year veteran of coaching, there are so many coaches, and I'm like a lot of coaches trying to figure out how to separate ourselves from everyone else. And I am working with a woman to help me re-message myself. And her philosophy is, why are you hiding your age? That's your superpower. So for older coaches who've had many, many decades of life experience, of wisdom, where are we? Because today is complex and older people have been there, done that. So it's nothing against young coaches. We need them for sure. But what about older coaches? It's like people of a certain age are called elderly, are called old, or whatever label that the universe places on us. Ageism doesn't exist anymore, whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. So here we are.
Here we are. It's interesting because I probably was on Facebook. I have no idea where I saw it, but somebody was saying that in all other cultures, age is revered, it's worshipped and it's celebrated, and but in our culture, it's something you hide. It's something you try to change. It's like, you try to dress younger and you try to whatever you do with makeup, which I do all the time, but whatever you do to look younger, because for some reason, rather than celebrating the, hey, we're here, we've been here for a long time. It's like, oh, don't ask our age because I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't appreciate it. But I love the thought that coaches have a lot of experience. I too am a 20-year veteran. That's right. We met each other, I think, when we both graduated. And that is 20 years of experiences, 20 years of learning. That's 20 years of going through all the changes that coaching has, gone through.
Absolutely.
It's got to be worth something.
Got
So,
to be worth a lot,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, for people to want to tap into all of our experiences and knowledge and hundreds and hundreds of clients that we've worked with
Wow.
over the years to get to where they want to go. I know that I don't think there isn't a topic that a client comes to me with that I haven't experienced myself, other than divorce, probably, um, or um, another format. Most of everything clients come to me, they struggle, they lose their jobs, they don't know where they want to go, they want to get into their own business, they've worked for companies. How do you give that up? Here are two examples. I I didn't let go of the golden handcuffs and everything it offered me for many, many years.
Mhm.
So we have a lot for people that are looking to create change to tap into and learn from.
That's true, and it's like, yes, I too hung in there because that was the established route. You work your way to the top, and then you do what you have to do, and you move up, and you do all that. However, it's it took, and I guess I don't regret it, but it took me a while to figure out, you know what, this isn't doing it for me for some reason. So, yeah, when you finally get to be a coach and you go through coach training, you go, oh my goodness, eh, I have far greater capacities than I realized. And I hear what you're saying, and we're not saying that young coaches don't offer anything. I'm sure they know how to do Twitter so much better than I do because I don't have a clue. They know all the AI talk and all of that, and that's great. But I think what has to be appreciated is experience and how far that takes you. And you're right. When a client comes to you, you either have had a client that did that or you've been through it yourself. And if you haven't, my thought always was because I don't have children, but and everybody goes, well, you really can't coach someone about a child's problem, or you can't coach a parent who's having. And I go, yeah, you really can because you're putting different eyes on it. And it's the same with age, that just because you're young and I'm old doesn't mean that I don't have something. I'm going to see something that you don't see, and you're going to see something that I don't see. And we can learn from each other, which is fantastic.
I agree 100%. I think every coach has their place, and every coach has offerings that another generation might not have.
Yes. Yes.
And, it's not taking one thing away from another. It's just with decades and decades and decades of experience, you automatically have the bandwidth that a young coach doesn't have because they haven't lived decades and decades and decades.
True,
So,
and but being older, you know the history. Like we know the history of ICF. We know how it's changed, the International Coach Federation. We know how it's changed. We know how it's improved. We know the old techniques. We know the new techniques.
right,
We can put it. It's a delightful blend. So yeah,
right,
exactly what you were saying.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, even ICF has changed.
Mm.
That it used to be questions, questions, questions,
Yeah.
and now it's a mix of everything. I don't think clients want to come to just get questions thrown at them. I mean, with my clients, I ask if it's okay for me to give them a perspective, and which could open a door for them on what they're going through, right?
Mhm.
You might not help them with their answers, but you work on that together. And it's a partnership. It's not coach client type of relationship. We're equals.
That's how
And
ICF has changed because they went from coach questioning to partnership. And it's a joint effort. And we've watched that. I mean, we know how to do all the questions and we know how to do the partnership now. And I think that's one of the biggest changes. And I know you and I are from different schools, so to speak, coaching schools, but I see how my school has changed so much. And the pandemic changed things too. It
sure.
was you don't have to be face to face, and you don't, there are other ways to help. So to expand, and we've been through a lot, I mean, I always thought I was a pioneer. Oh my. 2004, I must be the first person. There were people around in the 90s that were doing coaching. Wow, until you know about it, it didn't exist. But 20 years experience, that's a pretty good thing to have under your belt.
21 this October.
Wow. Okay, you got me
you
beat.
know? It's,
Yeah.
and then, for us, we took a course, and then if you wanted to, you took a 6-month certification training. And
Mhm.
here I was well past school,
Yes.
and it was 6 months of stepping up and really expanding our bandwidth of brain and, wanting to take an oral and a written and pass. And,
That's interesting because reinvention, I think we've both done that. And how do you reinvent yourself? I always say that you know when you need a coach and you know when something's not going right because there's a little feeling inside of you. But how do you reinvent yourself? And yeah, I think we're both great examples of that. And then we can help other clients reinvent themselves.
it's all about creating change. And that's my big, big passion is how to create change in your life at any age. We both had business backgrounds for sure.
Yeah.
And then how I had my own business. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I stumbled upon coaching at a older age. I jumped in. That's 20 years ago. And I've done coaching, I do a podcast. I now write an article for a magazine. Um, and I'm about to start speaking again.
Cool.
Whereas I used to speak a lot, get up on a stage. I haven't done that in years. And now I'm going to a conference where I get a chance to get up and talk. And that's my next foray. So, we look at societal norms
Mm.
of you get married at 20, you work, you have a family, and by 65, it's time to retire. Although
Whatever
many
that
people
means.
are not doing
Yeah.
that so much. And then what? You spend the next X years in retirement.
Mhm.
I find that being able to coach, to have a podcast, it keeps me relevant. It keeps me on top of knowing what's going on and interfacing with so many different people that I keep learning. And that's the beauty of being willing to not let go of your goals or your dreams at no matter what age, because we leave them on the cutting room floor and we're too old. I'm 45. I better stay in this job, or I'm 50. I better not make any changes. And we buy into the limiting beliefs called fears. And that's how we live rather than saying, okay, why not? Sure, I'm going to do this no matter what.
Yeah, I think more and more people are questioning, especially younger people. It's like, is this working for me? And if not, what can I do? But yeah, 65 is not necessarily a time when you go, okay, I'm going to play golf and I'm going to go on a cruise, and that may be fine if that's what you wanted to do. But there's so many other things, and the flexibility is all a part of it because I know when I started coaching, I wanted to do health and wellness and get people to be a coach and expand, and then 2008 came, and all of a sudden the market came crashing down, and the finances and economy was just tanking. And because I had a background as a career HR professional.
Sure.
Sorry, yeah, it's been so long ago I forgot. People started coming to me and going, "Oh my God, I'm losing my job, or I lost my job. I don't know how to do a resume. I don't know how to present myself." So I went, "Okay, I'll reinvent myself. I'll be a reinvention coach, and help people transition into whatever new phase is coming." But I had to do that also, but I had done it, so it made it so much easier for me to say, "Hey, you know what? Okay, let's look at this from a whole different angle, not tragedy, but it's like opportunity." So flexibility comes first with us, I think, and then helping our clients stretch and become more flexible. Yeah.
I think it's a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so many people have that fixed mindset of because their fears and the stories they tell themselves that they keep going along rather than a growth mindset is really opening up the lens and saying, wait a second, what do I want for me?
Mhm.
Instead of they're scared at 50, go off on their own or take another job, or I'm too old, it's never going to work. I think today more and more, as a matter of fact, there was an article in one of the online services I get that talks about wisdom knowledge and youth knowledge,
Uh-huh.
meaning generational
Mhm.
combination of young people working with older people and younger people gaining the wisdom of what older people have to offer, and older people having the ability to tap into what younger people are thinking and doing. And that's the best of both worlds.
Definitely, yeah, and it's funny that again we're back to partnership. But I know there are people who have tapped into that. There's the Small Business Association, I believe. I know it's called something besides that, where previous or people who have owned businesses help young entrepreneurs start their own business and give them all their knowledge. And it keeps the giver sharp, and the getter, the receiver, I guess, is the one who gets all the knowledge. There's also something called a foster grandparent program where senior citizens loosely adopt younger children, and together the senior citizens learn, all the new things that the young kids learn, and the kids get the benefit of an additional set of grandparents. So people are tapping into that. And both of those organizations could not exist unless there were elderly people with a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge that they were willing to pass on to people. So we're back to partnership. And I feel confident in saying, and I think you might, Terry, also, we're not alone. There are a lot of people over the age of when, oh, you should be retiring. And I think AARP says, what is that, 52? And they start sending you all the and all the paraphernalia, whether you want it or not. We should be, relaxing and resting. And no, that's not necessarily true.
100% agree. And, everyone makes their own choice. We're not sitting here saying, if you don't retire because you want to, you know, if people want to do that and that's their passion, they should go for it. But I know there are so many people that struggle with what can I do next?
Yeah.
And they're afraid. What if it fails? And the naysayers, the friends, family, what are you crazy? You're older. Retire, enjoy your time. Instead of saying, oh my God, you had a great idea to start a cooking club or, a cooking show or whatever your passion is.
Yeah.
Don't let that fall by the wayside because your fears are, as people say, what do you want to look crazy? You'll be vulnerable. What might people say? You can't buy in to any of that. That's the
Mhm.
point. You can't. You have to follow your heart because we have one life. That's it. We have many opportunities, but
Yeah.
one life.
Yeah.
And I think we each need to make a choice. What does that life going to look like for me? Not for what my friends think, not for what my family thinks, but for me. And with that, decide what's best for you.
One of the things I think is most valuable about having a coach is because we go, oh, follow your passion, do what you want to do. So many people out there just can't get past the prescribed route. It's like, wait, I'm 65, I have to stop. No, coaches can help you figure out what are the opportunities out there? What can I be doing? What have I missed? What did I want to do but I never got to do? How can you modify that at your age to go ahead and give you the joy that you thought it would give you, or at least try it and go, oh, I hated that. I'm glad I didn't do it. Whatever you do, that's where the coach comes in to help you expand your mind, to
Right,
to help you brainstorm and think about where can I be of most service? Because I think
right,
there's all kinds of studies out there, and the most important thing for seniors and probably for everybody is to feel needed, to feel like they're providing a service. And it's like, well, that's what we help you do. That's because we've been there. That's why we went to
right.
coaching, because we were doing okay in our businesses, but it was like, nah, I need a little bit more. So and
So
that's an important job.
absolutely. And also helping them identify the limiting beliefs
Ah,
that are stopping them. That's the
yeah,
key. What is really stopping you? The stories we tell ourselves.
yeah,
If, we all do that, how do we look at these stories? How do we, change your story, change your life?
right.
And I don't know for you, but for me, I don't know how I keep going. There's something in my soul that wants to make an impact, wants to make a difference. And we all can in very small ways or in larger ways.
Yeah.
We're not celebrities, we're ordinary people, really looking to do extraordinary things.
And sometimes that's something very simple, just
Right,
volunteering to help out at an organization that you love. You love their purpose. It doesn't have to be money. I mean, if you need money, cool, then get paid for it. But it doesn't have to be, you don't have to measure it by money and status. It's just what makes you feel good. It makes you feel good inside. And how can you keep getting that feeling, And that's what Terry's talking about. I think passion. It's how do you dig it out? Because I think we all have passion. We've just kind of buried it in so many different ways with limiting
right,
beliefs and incorrect interpretations and assumptions. Oh, I'm too old. So how to
right, right,
peel away the onion, the layers of the onion, to get right down to the core and go, here's how I want to spend my life, and here's
right.
what I can do. It may not be everything, but you know, whatever's going to make you feel good.
I absolutely agree. It's about passion. And if you've been in a job for so long, your passion has, unless you absolutely love what you're doing, passion has kind of taken a really backseat.
Yeah.
And what would it be like to, as Laurie said, to shine a light on that passion and say, oh my God, if only, you
Hmm.
know, at the end of our life, do we want to say, if only, um, or rather, God, I've done everything I've wanted to do.
I wish I had more time, but at least I
Right,
got to
right.
do it. Yeah, definitely. It's so I think really what we're saying is stop. One limiting belief right now is that you're too old. You know, you're never too old.
No.
Even if you're immobile, even if you're not too old, there are ways to contribute. And you know,
Mm.
it's not a dress rehearsal, as the old saying. And
Right,
this is
right.
your shot.
Exactly.
If not now, when?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, if you switch from feeling old to feeling young and um capable
Mm.
and finding that passion, all of a sudden you're in alignment and lots of things open up when that happens. So yes, life is short, as we see this year has whizzed by, as every year does, because life isn't life isn't fair. Life doesn't care. It just goes. It's up
With
to
or
us.
without you, yes. You can sit
That's
on the
right.
sofa or you could be out there trying to keep pace. Either way. Whatever, and sitting on the sofa is fine if you feel like, okay, this is I earned it and I've been waiting for this the whole time.
Right.
That's great too. It's like
Right.
if that's your passion, it's like, boy, I worked so hard to get here. Stay there, you know.
Right.
You're gonna get bored,
Exactly.
but it's okay. Stay there until you do get bored, and then start thinking about, what can I do to
Mhm.
enhance what I'm already doing? And my recommendation would be get a coach.
Get a
Because
coach for sure.
yeah, they are
Absolutely.
there to help you think about things that you never thought about before, or unearth things that you put aside because you go, "Oh, I could never do that." Uh,
Right. Exactly.
yeah, but value, celebrate. And some people hide their birthdays, some people don't
Mhm.
ignore their birthday. My thought is, well, why? You're here, celebrate, it's another year, another opportunity. And so our advice is, value everything, value the youth, value the elderly, and I don't even want to use that word, value the experience. Let's use that.
Right. Not
Not
elderly, for
elderly,
sure.
because who's to say what's old, you know?
Right. That's exactly right. Those are societal norms.
Mhm,
Ageism doesn't exist,
yes.
but living your life does.
Ah, yeah.
And my hero is Iris Apfel. She just died at 102. She was an icon. She had brands for rugs and this and that up until the time she died. And I look at her with all her jewelry and her big glasses
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
and her
Yeah, yeah.
scarves. She was a New York icon.
And that's
Was
we are out of time, but that's what we want. We want to be icons, and we want you to be icons too.
right,
So
exactly.
start valuing and start thinking in a whole different kind of mode. It's like I can do
Right.
whatever I really want to do. So we hope we left you with that and
Ah,
get out there and enjoy the rest of the year.
absolutely.
Thank you,
See you
Terry.
soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.